Video opens with historical images of Black women transitioning to modern-day portrayals in media, both positive and negative. Have you ever heard someone call a Black woman angry or aggressive just for speaking her mind? Or maybe you've seen it play out on TV, in movies, or even on social media. This idea, the stereotype of the angry Black woman, is something we see all the time. But where does it actually come from? It wasn't born in our communities. It's a painful relic, a ghost of the past that continues to haunt our present. Today, we're going to pull back the curtain and trace this stereotype all the way back to its source. To understand how centuries of oppression have been used to shape our image and, most importantly, to divide us. This isn't just a history lesson. It's a conversation we need to have for healing, for understanding, and for unity. Let's travel back in time to a period of unimaginable cruelty, the era of chattel slavery. In this system, Black people were not seen as human, they were property. To justify this brutal institution, a powerful and dehumanizing narrative was created. Black men were painted as hypermasculine and threatening, while Black women were strategically stripped of their femininity. Think about it. To be a woman in that era, especially in the eyes of white society, meant to be delicate, submissive, and domestic. But enslaved Black women couldn't be any of those things. They were forced to labor in fields alongside men, enduring the same back-breaking work, the same brutal punishments. Their strength, a necessity for survival, was twisted and reframed as masculine and unfeminine. When a Black woman resisted, when she fought back against her abuser, or simply showed the human emotion of anger in the face of injustice, she wasn't seen as a person reacting to trauma. Instead, this narrative labeled her as inherently aggressive, difficult, and confrontational. This wasn't an accident. It was a deliberate strategy. By painting her as angry, her enslavers could justify their violence against her. It was a way to dismiss her pain, silence her voice, and break her spirit. This is the birthplace of the angry Black woman myth. It's a caricature created to maintain a system of oppression, a lie designed to control and dehumanize. After emancipation, you'd think these stereotypes would fade away, but they didn't. They just evolved. The late 19th and early 20th centuries saw the rise of minstrel shows and caricatures like the Mammy and the Sapphire. The Mammy was a desexualized, nurturing figure loyal to the white family she served. She was threatening, but the Sapphire was her opposite, loud, sassy, and domineering. She was the angry Black woman in theatrical form, designed to be laughed at and looked down upon. These weren't just harmless jokes. They were powerful forms of propaganda. They seeped into the American consciousness, reinforcing the idea that Black women who weren't submissive were somehow flawed or undesirable. These images were everywhere, from product advertisements to films, constantly hammering home this distorted view of Black womanhood. This propaganda had a devastating effect, not just on how white society viewed Black women, but on how we started to view ourselves. Here's where the story gets even more complicated and painful. The psychological trauma of slavery and Jim Crow created deep wounds within the Black community. In a world that constantly attacked the Black man's masculinity, the home was supposed to be a refuge. However, the same system that emasculated Black men also forced Black women into roles of strength and resilience. Sometimes this strength, born from necessity, was misinterpreted because the dominant culture defined femininity as passive and submissive. Some Black men, internalizing these white-created standards, began to see the strength in Black women as a threat to their own manhood. Instead of seeing a partner who was shouldering an immense burden, they saw the sapphire caricature that society had been feeding them. This is a crucial point. It's not about blaming Black men. It's about recognizing how a system of white supremacy strategically planted seeds of division between us. It pitted us against each other by manipulating our perceptions of masculinity and femininity. Fast forward to today. Where do we see these stereotypes? Everywhere. On reality TV, Black women are often edited to look argumentative and irrational for ratings. In workplace settings, a Black woman who is assertive is often labeled difficult, while her white counterpart might be praised for having leadership qualities. This isn't just unfair, it has real-world consequences. It affects our careers, our mental health, and our relationships. The constant pressure to defy a stereotype is exhausting. You're forced to police your tone, to soften your language, to shrink yourself, just to avoid being slapped with that angry label. And this has a profound impact on Black love and relationships. When some of our Black men have been conditioned by media and society to see a Black woman as confidence as aggression, her passion as anger, and her boundaries as disrespect, it creates a chasm between us. It leads to the painful reality where Black women are told they are too much or too difficult, often by the very men who should be their biggest allies. Meanwhile, they're expected to be the emotional backbone of the community, to be everyone's therapist, supporter, and protector, without ever showing the strain. It's an impossible standard. So, how do we break this cycle? How do we heal? The first step is what we're doing right now, talking about it. We have to acknowledge the history and understand that this angry Black woman stereotype is not our creation. It is a weapon that was formed against us. For our Black brothers, this means actively unlearning the biases that society has taught you. When you see a Black woman express a strong opinion, ask yourself, am I seeing her or am I seeing a stereotype? Challenge the media you consume. Question why Black women are so often portrayed in this one-dimensional way. See her strength not as a challenge to your manhood, but as a testament to her resilience, a quality that makes our community powerful. And for my beautiful Black sisters, know that your emotions are valid. Your strength is not a flaw. It's your crown. Your voice deserves to be heard without you having to apologize for its volume. Reclaiming our narrative means giving ourselves the grace to be fully human, to be happy, sad, passionate, and yes, sometimes angry, without being punished for it. Anger is a natural response to injustice. Our ancestors were angry, and their anger fueled revolutions. Our anger can fuel change too. This conversation isn't about placing blame. It's about taking our power back. It's about Black men and women coming together with empathy and understanding. We need to have these difficult conversations in our families, with our friends, and in our communities. We must celebrate Black women in all their diversity and complexity. We must affirm them, protect them, and love them for who they are, not for who society wants them to be. Our unity is our greatest strength. The same forces that tried to break us apart can be defeated when we stand together, ready to rebuild our connections on a foundation of truth, respect, and unconditional love. The journey to healing is long, but it begins with us, right here, right now. Thank you so much for watching and for being a part of this vital conversation. If this message resonated with you, please hit that like button and share this video with someone who needs to hear it. And don't forget to subscribe and click the notification bell so you don't miss our future discussions. Let's continue to heal and rise together.